Hey, how's it going today? It's Frankie and I'm here with Terror Tuesdays. This movie is called There's Someone Inside Your House. And I've got to say, I like this movie. This movie is about a killer that exposes like these teen secrets, and a group of teens have to find out who the killer is before he kills anyone else or she kills anyone else. And I probably will explain this movie probably in a different way, so as I usually do with my movies and shows reviews, I always explain it the best I can. So yeah, and I've got to say the kill scenes in this movie as well, it's not too bad. It's a bit crazy, probably not your usual type of slasher movie where it's intense and crazy and gore. It's quite mad, to be honest. It's a bit intense, probably not the intensest I've seen in any sort of slasher type of movie, but yeah, I'll give an example to what I mean. So basically at the start of it, you have this guy called Jackson, and he's by himself in a house, and somebody sort of comes in and he sort of gets attacked in like a wardrobe or something, and his back, his ankles get sliced, and he sort of, goes down, his throat gets sliced as well. There's pictures of him. He saw pictures of him like after he killed somebody. There's also another scene where someone called Katie sort of talk to somebody who she thinks is actually there, but it's somebody else. And there was like a podcast playing of her just like talking about, giving an opinion to something, and she sort of gets her stomach sliced, and she sort of has to run into like their confession booth, and she sort of gets stabbed at the back of the throat, and then people come and she gets hanged. And also another scene where I think someone called Rodrigo, he sort of like gets killed outside, basically, when he tried to escape the killer. And basically the killer put up like pictures of him and said that his biggest secret is taking like painkillers, basically. And so he sort of runs out, and the killer sort of just the killer sort of tases him. He's in the one, he gets his throat sliced. There's also more, but I will mention that bit at the end. I'll mention that end bit in a minute, because there was a killing that I'm not going to talk about yet though. But I just want to get to the characters. You have those typical characters. I'm not sure the characters are right for this movie, so I'm not sure if I'm a fan of those. But yeah, the characters, you have McCartney, who's kind of like the observant one, and obviously, with how I gathered, she's obviously going to be the one that actually finds out who the killer is, and she's more smart. That's why characters like her get targeted last, because they kind of know that she's always onto something quickly, and she gets involved with someone called Ollie, and Ollie looks quite suspicious. I thought he was the killer. He isn't. He just looks like some sort of like creepy dude that's like stalking people, but isn't. He's actually a genuinely nice dude. And she sort of, basically Ollie's was it brother or was it dad is like, the deputy. So yeah, and he did a background check on McCartney and found some stuff out about her, and she's the one where nobody really knows her secret apart from the killer, and she sort of keeps her head until like she's in the hospital because she got attacked by the killer, and she sort of gets tasered. He was about to set on fire because her secret is that she pushed someone into the fire when she was supposedly getting bullied and forced to do something like that, and she spoke about it. So luckily I think her grandmother came in called Gam or something like that, came in and saw the floor, and they said, oh, the killer's been caught. I was a bit confused by this, because I'm thinking there's just one killer, right? But then she said, oh, the killer is Ollie. But then she's still with Ollie. So what name did she say? And besides, Nan did say, I think it's a Nan anyway, that said, oh, they caught him. I don't know, I'm a bit confused. And then she was sitting with like her friends like Darby, Alex, and who's the other? I forgot the other dude's name. I've forgotten his name, to be fair. I mean, I'll go and check, and this is, I'll come back to me. Or I'll just check it again anyway, because some of these characters confuse me when I look at them. And I think it was not Caleb. But yeah, speaking of Caleb does get stabbed as well in the movie, where she is in like a school, and she sort of just sees a car coming by, and she's like, oh damn, that's like a killer or something. She runs, and she's about to call the police. Now, in that moment, why would you if you're not sure if that's a killer or not? I wasn't sure myself, but then it was building up to that, and I'm not quite sure what. I don't understand. She could have called the police as soon as she could have might as well spoken to him instead of just saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna hang up." I actually see he comes across Caleb, and Caleb gets stabbed at the back, and the killer sort of gives her the weapon so that she can say she did it, which didn't make any sense why he could just attack on the spot. But maybe it's because the killer knew more people were on their way, so he can't suspect and run off. I was thinking my theory to this movie is that there's probably two people. There's probably a person in there sending messages, and there's probably the killer just getting those messages and getting a signal to kill these people. It wasn't the case. That would have been cooler too if there was an extra person on it. That's what I was thinking. But there wasn't. There was just one person. So that kind of confused me a little bit how that was happening. But yeah, that doesn't matter anyway. And yeah, he got stabbed, and yeah, I think he survived or something like that anyway. And then she sees some writing on the wall saying, "Oh, it's about Sanford or something like that." And then she realizes the next person is probably Zach. So they go straight to a cornfield because the killer just sets the cornfield on fire. And the guy this is actually a cool part here. Ollie just drives his car through like the fire infested cornfields. That's actually quite good analogy to use actually. Fire infested cornfields, pretty cool. Goes in there, and they come across they see a few people that have been killed, and they see at the end, and then they see like I think it's Mr. Sanford or something like that owns like the cornfield or something like that, and he's like, "I've got a family, man, don't do this to me, what are you doing?" And then the kid just stabs him, and then we eventually find out that it was his son that was the killer. I didn't suspect Zach at all of this in the slightest. I don't think I see much of it in the movie. Wasn't he the one that I think he was the one that had the altercation with his dad in the car? But I think that might have been somebody else. I don't. Was he the? Is he also the smoker too? I'm not quite sure, but I don't think people suspected him unless they're referring to somebody else. I don't remember. It's hard for me to keep up these names of what happens in these type of movies. I might remember 85% of it, so that's all I need anyway for these type of videos. And yeah, he's talking about the reason why he did it is because he said he's privileged and he's a victim of privilege. He's privileged, so why would he need to do all that? And he said that people bully him, he doesn't know who he is. But then he started because he stabbed Ollie. Ollie was down, and at that moment Ollie had a taser that he didn't quite work properly, don't know how. And it eventually got working. Just after Zach was telling McCartney about how he pushed her or someone to fire. How does he know all these secrets? Did he do research on these people? How does he know? How? He must have definitely been a part of nearly every event that's happened. He must have been keeping note. And yeah, so he eventually taunts McCartney, and as he's about to try and kill her or something, that's when Ollie started using the taser. That's when it started working, and McCartney started stabbing him. Yeah, she said, just because you're privileged, does that make you a victim of that? Come on, you're lucky. She didn't say that, but that's what she should have said. Yeah, and yeah, it's everything really. I don't want to mention the end part because that's a bit boring. And I've got to say, I don't know what it was. This kind of had a Saw feel to it, because when the killer came in, because it was Saw, they actually, sometimes the Jigsaw killer would kill certain victims according to how they kill these people back according to kill their victims basically. And when the killer poured like petrol on or gasoline or whatever it was on McCartney, and he was about to set on fire like she did with the victim. I think was it Jessica or something? I can't remember. I think it might have been. But yeah, he was stopped by Nan. So it kind of had a feel to that. And same with that when he tried to make Rodrigo overdose after tasing him, but that didn't go to plan. And with the Katie person, that wasn't really anything. He just wanted to kill her because of the hate thing. But then with Jackson, he killed somebody anyway, so he killed him. It's a natural way in these sort of movies. So yeah, I found that really interesting. I had a soul feel to it. I don't know what it was with the type of way the people were killed, you could say. But this sort of movie also goes to show that not everyone has an innocent side to them. They could have like a guilty side where they did something really bad, and the past can catch up to them, which it has done. McConaughey also made a good point saying, "I don't wear a mask, but at least I'm honest. I don't have to hide who I am." That's fantastic dialogue. I'll give him that one in this movie. I'll give him that one. That's respectable for to have dialogue at the end of sort of movie. So yeah, I don't know if I should I might up rating. Should I? Probably not, I guess. But yeah, I gotta say as well. Yeah, and also the person one of the people that made this is James Wan, the guy that was involved in making The Conjuring, and I think he was involved. Was he Insidious or Paranormal Activity? He was involved in making other horror movies that I've seen before. And I forget about that name. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant producer. I think, is he a director or whatever as well? I think he's just a producer. But I'm going to include his name in there because it says in the description. So I will include it. I'll include the producer as well. That's what I've started doing. Even the terrible movies and shows, I'm just going to put in all the producers just so that it's something I've been doing. I'll just include them in. I'm not going to do it for every single movie prior to that because that's going to be too long. Only do it for the good movies. Just make it easier for me, I guess. So, yeah, and you could just find the websites yourself. They'll show the names of these producers, directors, and writers, just so it helps you out. And just in case I forget to include a name or something, it'd be good for research, I guess. But yeah, and I've got to say it's a good movie. I would probably recommend it, maybe because of the ending and the kill scenes as well. However, it could have been a bit better having a lot more craziness in the movie and having better actors. So yeah, anyways, on to the rating. This is slightly better than decent. This is definitely a better movie than I've seen yesterday. I know they're different genres. I'm just saying it's slightly better movie than I've seen yesterday. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. I would probably give it a 9, but I find there's a few things they could have worked on. Like, obviously, I said before, have probably better people to play these characters, I guess. I wasn't feeling them. Could have had a different kind of storyline to it where there's like an extra killer or something that's in on it. Also have more kill scenes, I guess, in it. That would have been way more better to have more scenes where more people, these sort of movies get killed practically. So yeah, it would be nice to have something like that. But other than that, the movie was good. It's that they could have tweaked a few things here and there, but I can't have too many complaints. It's a good movie, and I rate it slightly high. Not a perfect movie, but 8 is about 30. That's the number I had in my head throughout, so I'm going to stick with that number because I don't want to be here all confused thinking, should I give it a higher or lower number? No, it deserves the number that it gets, to be fair. So yeah, that's it with this video. 8 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.